Tuesday, and welcome to the Women of Vision show.
Hello, everybody.
Yay!
Woo-hoo. We're back.
Hello. Hopefully no one's melting out there.
I am.
I feel like I could melt. But yes, welcome to the show, you guys. I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday and a great week so far, surviving the heat.
Yeah. Hydration, everybody.
I found the AC vent and I'm sitting under it, and it's great.
Heck yes. I swear this happens every year though in Reading too, if anyone's local or knows about it, or if you've lived here long enough to know, it's like we never have time to acclimate. It goes from like 90 to 105.
It's like, guess what? It's summer.
Yeah, so anyways, hopefully everyone's staying cool and enjoying their week so far. Welcome to the show though. I'm Haley Clendenning.
I'm Maurice Brown.
Sarah.
Yes, we're sitting down tonight with Melinda Hunter. Welcome to the show, my dear.
Thank you for having me.
So glad that you're here. You've been with Women of Vision for a really long time. Oh, Maurice.
I'm so sorry.
You're a very popular woman. But, so how long, I mean, have you been with Women of Vision basically from the get-go, right?
Fairly close.
I was going to say, it's been pretty, because you were a member when I joined, and I feel like I was
I think you two are at the same time.
about, okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's an OG with me.
Yeah.
I can't believe we just had 3 years, right? Our 3-year
Anniversary.
Yeah.
Anniversary.
And we didn't get to party.
I know.
COVID problems.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
COVID
We'll have a
problems.
party and people will just be like, what are those women doing?
So anyone that's new to the show and hasn't really, if you're not really sure what Women of Vision is about, we're basically just women empowering women and trying to create a culture of collaboration rather than competition, and just help support our other business women here in town and create friendships. And it's just, I don't know, it's my jam, obviously. But I'm curious, Melinda, what brought you, or what intrigued you about Women of Vision that made you want to step out of your box and join?
I think, I don't even know how we connected, but Maurice reached out and invited me to, I think it was Westside Wine.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
was my first meeting what do
Yeah.
you call them, outings, and
Social.
so from that day forward, I just joined. I loved the women getting together, and it just seemed like a lot of fun. It wasn't a meeting; it was just a girls' night out.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's probably my favorite part, honestly. Like, I
Yes.
love that we do have a lot to enrich and learn about, and we do have our vision development meetings, where there's a little bit more content, but it's fun that it's not, there's not so much structure that you feel
Mhm.
like you have to come in with an agenda or your notepad and be ready to go
Yeah.
every time.
Speaking of, we need one this month. We haven't had one because of
A
COVID.
social?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sad about that too.
We have to do it over Zoom or can Pajama we do it in
party.
person?
We did a pajama party, that's right.
There you go.
You can find somewhere here in town, okay? And all of us just gather, just
Yeah.
6 feet apart.
Exactly. We'll wave from across the restaurant.
Air hugs.
Well, Melinda, you are the owner of MC Hunter Photography, and you've actually done quite a few things for Women of Vision as well with your
Mhm.
photography.
Yeah.
I mean, how long have you been doing this, first of all?
Since 2000.
Okay,
Wow.
so you've got a little bit of time under your belt.
Yeah.
Where did you
I feel
grow
like
up?
I have a black belt.
I love that. I want a black belt
That's so
for
perfect.
anything.
That's so awesome. Are you a Reading girl? Where did you grow up at? Because luckily we haven't had you on our podcast or our show yet, so we have to get to know you a wee bit before we just
Sure.
dive right in.
Yeah, well, I've been a resident of Shasta County for 27 years.
Okay, so you're local at this point.
Yeah, so I feel like this is my home, but originally grew up in the Bay Area and then moved to Sacramento after high school and met my husband then, and he grew up here, and so family lived here, his side of the family lived here, so that's what brought us up here, is to be
Okay.
with family, because we didn't have family in Sacramento. It was either Bay Area or Reading. So we moved here in 1993, and 93, and got married in 94, and then had 2 children and raised our kids, and now we're empty nesters, and now we're going that full circle of not having kids, and with this COVID, us being home together, it's we spent so much time together, and it's been amazing.
That's so good.
It's just awesome because I feel like, oh, we're dating again.
Right, I was gonna say, it's actually probably kind of, well, at least it went that direction instead
Yes.
of you being like, and
Pulling
now
my
I
hair
wish
out.
we had more
Yeah.
children or something to like fill our time. But that's really cool because it is probably like dating again and getting reacquainted with your partner.
Yes.
And when we had, our vision development meeting, not this month, but the previous month in May, I enjoyed that you talked about that a little bit, about how you guys would just laugh and just enjoy each other's company, and that's so sweet.
It's been great. So, and we do have a grandson, so we have him around as much as possible. I just love kids. He just melts my heart.
He's adorable. He's getting big.
He is.
Also, my husband yesterday, I'm ready for grandchildren.
Oh,
My husband's like, excuse me.
you still have
What?
teenagers. Hold
I
on.
was just gonna say, I have the same response as your husband. What are you? Is
I
the
was-
heat getting to you?
I was just joking.
Oh, I'm like,
Just to get a reaction from him.
It worked, obviously. Oh goodness. So once you guys came to Reading, what were you doing? I mean, when did the photography bug hit you? Has it been something that you've always liked to do, even before you were back here in town, or was there something that sparked that interest in
Yes.
photography?
So, I was 12 years old when I got I'm gonna date myself, a C41 camera.
You're not dating yourself because I don't know what that is. I don't know what cameras nowadays are, though, so you could.
That's even funnier.
I know what she's talking about.
Well, of course you do. You're a photographer too. Picture unicorn.
Yeah, that's funny. But anyway, so I got one for a Christmas gift, and so then every Christmas I always asked for a new camera. Of course, they weren't fancy professional cameras. They were just different new kind of cameras, and so and then in high school I took photography, and
Okay.
it was really cool. I got to create my own camera and develop the film, and well, it wasn't film, it was paper. We were developing in the darkroom. So
That is so cool. I don't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt you, but I've always seen like that whole process, and that made me kind of be like, maybe I want to take pictures.
yeah, it is so cool. And so actually I was cleaning out my garage and I came across my high school box, and I just came across those pictures that I took, and with that particular kind of camera, you have to like ask your subject, okay, sit still for like 3 minutes, don't move. And like back in the day, where people sat there and didn't smile.
Oh my God, that
So
would be the worst for me.
it was so awesome though, and yeah, it just brought back so many memories. So that was where I first set my eyes on photography, is age 12, and then into high school.
Okay. I'm curious. I mean, I don't want to get started on a whole nother question because we're about to hit our first commercial break. But did you do like any pictures for the yearbook? In photography club, did you guys get to like contribute to that?
I didn't necessarily participate in the yearbook club. I was involved in sports all year round. I
That's
wished
my
I
hero.
would have. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I was involved in basketball, cross country, softball, and track. So that's what I did. But after high school, I would photograph weddings, engagement parties, family portraits, and back then it was film. So I would buy the film, photograph the event, the occasion, whatever it was. And when I got the film developed, I would print 2 copies. I would give one to the, whomever I was
Right.
photographing for, and I kept a copy. And so,
Well, before you, I hate to be the interrupter, but
Yeah.
we have a quick minute now before we hit our break, and we want to mention the sponsors. I know
Okay,
every time
go
I ask
ahead.
a question, I'm like, if this is not, I'm going to interrupt.
I'll hold the thought.
Thanks, ladies, for sponsoring our show. Linda Lingo with Financial Coach. She inspires and guides women into clarity. She did such a great job last Friday, you guys. I still have the notes. Sarah Back with Legal Shield, personal and business legal insurance. Jesse Baldwin certified health coach, free health coaching services. 530-355-5921. Bargain Books and More, located 836 Beach Street, open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6 p.m.
Heck yeah, they do book trades too, so if you have old books on your shelf that you need to trade in. But we will be back here shortly on KCNR. This is the Women of Vision Show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Women of Vision Show here on KCNR. We are sitting down and we're talking with Melinda Hunter, who owns MC Hunter Photography.
Hi, Melinda.
That's
Hey,
you.
that's me.
love it. We
I'm
were
like in a
just,
daze.
it's okay. Like I said, it's the heat. I swear. It just like zonks you. It takes all the energy away. So anyways, we were talking, of course, diving into a little bit about your photography journey and how it all kind of began, your love of photography. You were telling us a little bit about in high school being in photography club. Did you go to college after you were like done with high school, or did you just dive into like working? I know you said you were doing like weddings, and was it just basically word of mouth or like whatever you could get yourself into to continue to
Yes.
take pictures?
Yeah, so it was all referrals or friends or family that were having an event, and I was like, oh, I'll do it, and that would be their gift.
You're brave.
So I photographed the event, and this is without any education really besides the semester or the year that I took of photography, but
Right.
which they didn't really teach you how to pose and how to work with people.
Well, they
and stuff
probably
like
just
that.
teach you the basics of how to use, like you said, the camera, the
Right.
processing of the film, the
Yeah.
real basics.
So I didn't get paid for any of that. It was all a hobby. It was a gift, and so yeah, I didn't do
Now that's passion.
photography as a business until 2000.
Okay.
So,
So what were you doing in the meantime while you were taking pictures? I'm just curious.
Oh, I had full-time jobs. Yeah. Oh, I did work at in the mall in Sunnyvale, California. I worked at Quicksilver, so I photographed and I sold. I guess I did have a little training there.
Okay,
So, yeah,
all right.
So I think I was like 17, 18 years old when I worked there. So I did that for a year, and then shortly thereafter I moved from the Bay Area to Sacramento.
Okay.
So, and then pretty much I've always had like an admin type job or sales job.
And then just did your photography on the side to kind of
You look so thrilled right now.
Well, obviously it wasn't her passion.
Yeah.
It was what
Yeah.
she needed to
It's
do
like,
to,
yeah.
Well, I
to
can
get to do the passion.
yeah, I can do admin work like the back of my hand. It's not real exciting work, but you know.
But help with your business
Yeah.
now that you have a
Yeah,
business.
I worked for real estate offices for probably 10 years. And then, you know, just various different businesses moving from, you know, here to there. And, it wasn't until 1999 we were at my nephew's graduation, and my sister-in-law said, how come you don't do this for a business? And I'm like, a business? Like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah. She's like, you take great pictures. And I'm like, oh, you mean I can make money doing this too? Because I never looked at it as a business and making money. I just didn't put myself in that arena or category thinking that I was that good. However, all of those years, and, you know, back then, and, you know, I've always been taking pictures. I've taken some families' wedding portraits.
Mhm.
And so, again, it was film, and I had 2 copies. So she put the bug under me and said, you know, you should do this as a business. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had a local photographer friend, a good friend of our family. So I already had a portfolio going without realizing it.
Right.
And so I took my albums to her and I said, hey, you know, what do you think? And she's like, yeah. She's like, you got, you know, it looks like you're capturing everything that needs to be done. This was just specifically for weddings.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 1999, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this as a business. Got my business license and, you know, started looking into the business insurance and what do I need to do. And then it just so happened our wedding photographer, we connected somehow, or I don't know if I called her, was asking her questions about the business, and she was looking for somebody part-time. So I went to work for her for a year.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she was photographing digitally because I didn't photograph digital at the time. So she taught me a lot about how to shoot in, you know, digital format. And I would assist her on her weddings and help her with some of the processing on the back end, and, you know, and so I learned quite a bit from her. And so, but we did have a mutual agreement, understanding that after a year I would probably branch out, you
Mhm.
know. And so I did, and so I've always done it part-time from home, raising the kids. And then it wasn't until 2017 I decided to do it full-time. And I got a studio, and
I remember that. I remember
Mhm.
that leap. That's
yeah,
amazing.
it was scary, but I did it, and so, yeah.
And you waited long enough, you know, to
Mhm.
notice the right time.
Yeah.
So how was that process like between like because you were saying like the digital, because you weren't doing digital,
Mhm.
so you did learn a lot of craft from her
Yes.
just before you went off on your own. So you don't do that other, obviously.
I don't shoot
So it
film
was-
any longer.
So
no.
that's like, so that was that year that
That
digital basically
99,
came to place.
2000, so somewhere between 99 and 2000 is when I learned how to shoot digitally, and then I bought my first digital professional camera,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just moved forward, and then I did belong to a local professional photographers of the North Valley. Unfortunately, they're no longer in existence here, but I participated in that, and then became a member of Professional Photographers of California, and then Professional Photographers of America. So those are big organizations where they put on workshops, education pieces, and so I became the president for 2 years, vice president, and then held other positions in the local organization here, and participated in like a print competition,
Mm-hmm.
which really helps you grow and learn like the 12 elements of photography.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
I won a lot of awards, and so, but I never went outside of our organization here, so you can compete, on a bigger level at the other two organizations. And then in 2007, I did win/earn Illustrator Photographer of the Year. So that was really exciting. I forget that I have all those awards.
Oh my gosh, I know, I've never even heard that
I was
before.
gonna say I haven't heard you talk about that either. That's really impressive.
So you,
Sorry, I was like, I'll have to look it up because I'm a part of PPA too. I
Oh.
didn't know about California's, but I am a part of PPA. I was like, I'll have to look you up on there.
Yeah, I'm on there. So.
what does PPA stand for again?
Professional Photographers of America.
Oh, so can you compete at a national level then? Oh, did you do that?
No, I
Just the
haven't.
state level?
Just here locally.
Oh, just
Mhm.
You're
locally.
gonna have to get her to branch out.
Yeah, and then PPA, they have like where you can get your master photography. What is it?
The degree.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can earn. So I do have like a merit
Mm-hmm.
towards working towards a master craft degree
Yeah.
through PPA. So it's not like it has nothing to do with college credits or anything like that. It's totally separated, but it's all education still. So
Well, at least you have to focus on your craft instead of taking a
Yes.
bunch of classes that you don't need.
exactly.
But those awards, do they like help with the business somehow, or
Maybe your
grabbing-
exposure.
It's
perhaps, or-
exposure, and it just shows that you're continuing, like, it's like proof that you know what you're doing.
Right. I was gonna say, I mean, if you think about it, if you were choosing a photographer and you had someone that doesn't have any accolades,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have someone who has won, multiple awards,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, so this is the chick I'm gonna talk to.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know anything about that, but of course there is something like that, right?
Yeah.
You should totally put it on your Facebook page if you haven't though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
you
right.
need,
Those
you
are
need to toot your own.
bragging
I was gonna
rights.
say, you need to toot your own
Toot your own
horn.
I just came across because they were just, so I need to do that.
You're like, oh wait.
I do have a question to kind of go back to when you switched over to digital. Do you like shooting digital much better? And I'm just curious what the biggest difference that you noticed is out of the two styles.
Well, I love photographing digitally, just as long as you don't over photograph, because you can do that. With film, you're paying for your film up front, you're paying for developing, so you're continuously having that cost.
Okay.
Compared to shooting digitally, you buy your camera, you buy your cards one time. So
Gotcha.
I mean, it's still expensive. I mean, over a period of time, I feel like digital's more cost effective. However, with film, when you print in film and develop in film, there's no manipulating your images. You don't spend time on Photoshop. So there's a lot of less time when you photograph in film, unless you convert it into a disc and then do that. But digitally, you can spend lots of time on the computer. So
Yeah.
it can be fun.
Over photographing means like you took 300 more than you should have.
Yeah.
So just make it
Same
too
pose.
difficult to
Or the same-
choose each.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes, and I'm not even.
I think I have that.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, it's
I
like
definitely don't over photograph. Like I've been doing this for 20 years, so I know how to, pose people. I know what they're wanting before the photo session even takes place. So I always capture what the client wants, and then I capture what I vision. And 9 times out of 10, what I vision, they really, that's what gets selected.
Well, yeah, because we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't. For example.
Yeah, I don't
if
ever.
I go in, I'm not like, okay, these are the poses I want to take.
Yeah.
This is the angle I want to hit. No, please
Yeah.
manipulate
Tell
me.
me.
Tell me what to do because I have no clue, and I'm not photogenic. So
Yeah,
it takes an eye, I feel like, to help
I feel the same way.
put someone in a position that is flattering or does capture, what they're looking for.
Mhm. That's
Well,
important.
I love when people say they're not photogenic, because then that means it's a challenge, and I love challenge, and I work really well with,
Challenge.
I do.
I see that about you.
Yeah.
Although I don't, she's lying. She's photogenic.
She is
We all know that. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever you. Anyways, we are actually about to run into our next commercial break. So look at that. Paused. Didn't even have to interrupt.
Oh my
this time.
goodness.
So again, we want to mention our amazing sponsors that make this show happen. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, girls. I'm excited to announce that Everbloom Skincare is open.
Yes.
660A Azalea Avenue. She does natural acne clinic, botanical based, non-toxic skincare. Josie Ramirez, we just had her like 2 weeks ago.
She's awesome.
Check out her
I need to schedule a
recording.
facial.
Me too. Just reminded me. Josie, if you're listening, I will call you. Deborah Mitchell with Oils for Young and Healthy Living. Michelle Lane Coaching, located in Chico, California. She's a transformational facilitator of Elevate workshops and retreats for women. Lit from Within at 2449 Athens Avenue. And actually, you guys, I gotta read that they're having a glow yoga session this Friday at 7
I'm
o'clock.
gonna go to that.
It is $20. The proceeds go back to the local organizations in town. Kick Cancer. You can pay at the door,
You guys
and
can-
it is celebrating women empowerment. Class is designed to tap into your divine feminine. Ooh.
It's so fun.
Yeah, well, I think the gals are going. And Bev Gray with Sarita, a nutritious drink. And all fired up with Felicia Tortorici, 1796 Churn Creek Road. Pottery painting, life casting, board art, clay, prints, and fused glass workshops, and more.
I can't wait to get in there. Anyways, we will be back here shortly on the Women of Vision show here on KCNR. 2000. Okay. So, did you just work from home and then you decided to make the leap, you said in 2017?
Yes, I just worked out of the home. So basically I did a lot on location. So I think I've pretty much done every genre of photography you can possibly do, from like weddings and families and babies and maternities and dances and sports and you name it, commercial. I pretty much, I think I've done it all. Oh, and boudoir. But I've narrowed it down. So like my absolute favorite.
That was going to be my next question. Like what your favorite type is.
Yeah. Well, I love maternity. I'm a very emotional person. I love photographing weddings, but I don't really advertise for that because it's a big job, and it's very wearing on the body.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of
And
demand.
honestly, it's like probably the most stressful type of photography or business to do, especially when you're doing it alone. And I love capturing I can do it just fine. It's just I'm very selective, and do, maybe just a handful a year. I don't.
It seems
really...
like the one type of photography I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot.
I started that when I graduated, and I did it 6 months. I was like, I don't have the patience for this. Like,
Well, it just seems incredibly stressful, and there's so many different types of shots I feel like that you need to get, and that there's expected of you, and especially if you're by yourself, you are hustling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't sit down, and more often, you sit down and they offer you a meal, but it's like take a few bites and then get back up because there's always something to be photographing. So, but my favorite is like maternity sessions. I love maternity sessions. And high school seniors, families, beauty, branding, boudoir, commercial. Those are the main ones that I like to photograph. So
And you do the Santa Claus too every year.
Yes, I do. Oh, I do the Santa Claus.
Oh my
yeah,
God, those are so cute
I
too.
have a wonderful Santa Claus. So thanks for putting that thought in my head. I better start planning.
Oh, wait.
With COVID,
We went
who
one
knows,
time,
we
our
may not-
family.
we won't be able to do it maybe this year. Who knows?
I know, it's true. Yeah, we had fun that one time, and they were so shy. But I think the cookies got them,
Yeah.
and also because I don't
Get 'em
know,
all
maybe
jacked
Santa
up.
Claus got them too.
I mean, Santas and cookies, that sounds like a great experience.
Yeah.
Not my kids, just the cookies part.
They're all, we're just gonna sit over here and eat cookies. Let us know when we're done.
So Melinda, when you made that leap in 2017, obviously that's a long time from 2000 to 2017 to go full time. What was your thought process like? How was it? You know, the decision making
Yeah, why
to
then?
decide.
I just felt like, so the way I did my business from 2000 to 2017 is basically everything was on location. Or sometimes I go to people's homes and photograph them. It's kind of still on location. But I just thought I felt like I was stagnant and I wasn't moving and growing and growing. And so I just took the leap of faith and found a space. I thought this is the only way I'm going to be able to grow. And doing business at home and doing business on location, in a commercial facility is totally different. So yeah, I did that. I was in one location for a year, and then I also decided to go to college, not back to
Oh
college.
yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I went in 2015. I was just going to go for a certificate, and somehow, so I was working for an accounting firm
Mm-hmm.
when I got my studio. So I was working full time, going to school full time, and doing my photography part time.
Jeez
So-
Louise.
Somehow I managed to continue, and I graduated in 2018 with a business of science associate's degree. And
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, I was like, oh, I want to go for my bachelor's degree, but then to come to realization, like I can't do that full time and continue my business full time. So it was in 2015 or 17, I believe, that I quit working for the
Yeah.
previous employer. And so from 2017 till now, it's been, full time photography.
How are you liking it?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so much more, I've grown so much. I'm always continuing my education in photography and, business marketing
Mm-hmm.
and how to run a business, and in photography or just in business in general. There's always so much to learn. Like, I don't think anybody will ever learn it all in their lifetime.
Right. So with photography, what's your most favorite? Like, I know you've probably taken some classes on some, higher level classes. Something that I probably would not take myself.
Mhm.
What was your have you taken something that really impacted you and that you've put into place in your photography?
Well, over the years, I have gone to week-long workshops,
Mhm.
seminars, and with those you do learn and grow a lot. And then in 2018, I did hire a mentor, so which I grew tremendously because I thought, okay, I got this commercial business space. It's not just it's not a hobby. It's okay, it's a real business, So with that, it's helped out, just growing and moving in the right direction where I need to be. Because I've always felt like I've been doing this for so long. I do have the talent, and it's just time for me to grow the confidence and be where I should be.
So that mentor helped a lot. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm sure it helps with we all have a blind spot somewhere,
Yes.
even the creatives
Yeah.
have that blind spot. And yeah, I love mentors. I mean, they do help in some ways.
Yeah, I just feel like, having a coach or a mentor is always important. I think it's whether it's in person, online, or,
Oh yeah.
I feel it's always key to a business.
Well, yeah, especially because I feel like Maurice was saying we kind of have blind spots where we tend to pigeonhole ourselves without even maybe realizing it.
Right.
You get comfortable in a certain spot
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you live, and it's there's a lot more that you can, especially having all the experience that you have had
Right.
There's probably a lot more that you can do than what you think you can.
Exactly.
Do you think that's one of the biggest challenges that you've had with starting your own business? Or, I mean, what do you think that would be? Because that's a big leap of faith from going from having a full-time job and just doing photography on the side to that being your, your full-time and getting a new look, getting a studio. That's a lot.
Yeah. I think my biggest struggle was just not having like a business plan and knowing really how this all is going to play out. And it's not like I'm getting a loan to start this business.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had the business, but there's the overhead was always low, so I think that was like the biggest maybe obstacle, but I'm just always optimistic and I can do this,
Yeah, plus you said, like you said, you had a portfolio already, so that helped big time.
Yeah.
Especially like around being in Reading, you hear it often. There's a lot of photographers here, I feel, and there's even more every day. I find out. So, what do you think? Would you say from your heart it differentiates you from the other photographers? And I know there's different ranges. Some are really young, who was only like a year into it, and then you hear with somebody like you who's been around. Like, wow, that's a long time.
Well,
from film to digital, so you actually experience the difference,
Well, I personally feel like digital is so much more forgiving. So people are more apt to like pick up a camera and start photographing and like, oh, I'll do your session for you. And I find, a lot of people, I mean, that's great. Everybody has to start somewhere. But I personally feel like I just want to like corral all these people that are photographers that are new in the business or and kind of help them, groom them to like not just give everything away, because it's very easy to do. But anyway, what sets
we gotta get into that the next
what sets me apart?
And what you guys are talking about.
I wouldn't have thought of that actually. But yeah, we've got a few more of our sponsors that we need to mention before we hit our last commercial break.
We do. Oh, it's the last one already.
I know. Tell you, it flies by faster and faster every week, I swear.
Yeah. Thank you, Dana Grant, Master Intuitive Life Coach. Sarah Clark with Relieves Trading. They're 100% USDA certified organic hemp, is grown whole circle farms in Oregon, USA. And they have their deep freeze, pain relief spray. I think, it's that thing is super good. I love that.
I didn't get to use it, but I've heard it.
To Max Malari, World Financial Group, Life and Health Insurance Agent. Boheme and Salon and Spa, 961 Dana Drive, Suite 130. And to our one and only Sarah Marie Spectrum. She helps you find the magic in you and through her creative photography and videography. Thank you, everybody, for helping us stay on.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. We wouldn't be here, obviously, without you, so we appreciate you guys. And we will be back here in just a moment on KCNR with the Women of Vision show here on KCNR. And we were just talking, Melinda, you just said the coolest thing, by the way. We were talking about what sets her apart with her photography. By the way, she owns MC Hunter Photography, so if you guys need a photographer,
a seasoned and experienced one.
Yes, she is the lady to hit up, because she has got a plethora of knowledge and can do so many different things. But it just really struck a chord with me, because we were asking you what we think sets you apart from other photographers, and it's something I just have never really heard before. And you said that you want to help other photographers.
Yeah,
that's pretty epic.
Yeah.
I mean,
so so what sets me apart is, I'll go back to that comment, but I have a lot of years of experience. I've invested lots of money into my business, not just equipment, but education, tools, knowledge,
your connections too. I mean, you connect with the network, and you network a lot around here.
Yes, and I just feel like I know how to serve my clients. I know what they want. Or if they don't want, I know how to just create a beautiful experience for them. And then, so what I specialize in is creating wall art to leave a legacy for their families to, cherish now and forevermore. And albums. So that's what I really like to do is I don't shoot and burn on a disc. A lot of people do, photograph and then turn around and give it to the person on a CD, but you really are not doing the client any justice because a lot of times they don't do anything or they don't know what to do with it. Or so, and for me, it's not only just my passion, it's a craft that I just so love doing. I love taking a photo, even though I take amazing photos, take it up a notch and do some just mastery editing on the image. I'm just very meticulous. So a client's not going to get that if you shoot and burn. And so going back to, hurdling photographers that, maybe are shoot and burn photographers. I don't have a fear, several years ago, it was oh my gosh, there's so much competition, and I don't really worry about that because I'm me and I'm unique. I'm different. I work with diverse personalities. I have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. So I'm not concerned about people that are charging very little and then shoot and burn. However, I feel that people that do shoot and burn and they're charging very little, then that should be considered a hobby and they shouldn't be charging for it. So, I understand everybody has to start somewhere, just like I did. I didn't charge what I charged when I first started.
Absolutely.
Just over the years, it starts, you just start re-evaluating your craft and how good or, where you need more experience or help. And so that, for me, is just where I'd like to communicate and gather other photographers and kind of see where are they at with this. Is it just a hobby? Are you just doing it because you have a digital camera and you like to do it? And or do you want to do it as a business, and help, I want to say women, but there's men out there too, direct them to where they can gain more knowledge and become more of the professional, photographer. So a lot of people do say, oh, I'm a professional photographer because they have a digital camera.
Yeah.
You're no.
And me and Melinda were talking off air because I'm also someone that shoots professionally, and I feel like what we were discussing is what separates a professional from a hobbyist is they are willing to invest in their craft. They put a lot of money into their marketing, constant education, and I think part of the problem too is a lot of those people, you never want to say you know everything because photography, especially now that's gone digital, because I'm also classically trained, is that it's constantly evolving. The technology, we're seeing mirrorless now and all sorts of stuff, and and bouncing off of Melinda, that's for me too. Is people are are you worried about competition? And I'm when you're a professional, you have to have confidence in yourself and your abilities. People often come to me are you upset your client went and shot with someone else? They're not necessarily my client, it's a partnership, but for me it's not a deal because someone else provides services that I don't. I can't do it all. Melinda's not like she can because I'm sure she does. I've seen her work. It is beautiful, you guys.
Yeah.
But I'm a boutique kind of photographer, and for me, it's you have to have confidence in yourself and your skills, and people come to you for a thing, and it doesn't bother me if someone shoots somewhere else.
It seems like it could be an overwhelming industry, but I feel like it's really not, because like you said, you each have your own unique style into photography, and people shouldn't look at the prices. It's more what style do I want? How do I want it to be conveyed?
And it's actually a really nice community. Like she said, I'm also a member of PPA, and they have some great projects and stuff, and other organizations I'm a part of. You always want to give in to not give in, invest in other people, and it's just constantly learning, and I love that about this industry.
So it's probably how you learn new things.
Yeah,
too.
it's
collaborating with people and not being stuck in your bubble and being scared about other photographers. You have to be able to be, I guess, a bit more well-rounded, or at least be aware of.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Melinda because I was born in 91, so I'm going to not date myself here. And while I did go to college for photography, and they did do classically trained in darkroom and stuff, being able that was your only method for so many years. I have so much respect for that. Because I only did one semester of manually burning stuff with a mirror in a dark room and all that. So for me, that's impressive. So
Yeah.
That's real passion right there. Because
Yeah.
it's like it becomes more laborious at that
Exactly.
point, right? Not only is it already laborious being out there on location dealing with
like
clients,
I can't imagine ordering film and all that stuff like all the
Yeah.
time. Like
the added steps. But yeah, like you said, you put education, you invest in yourself. That adds value to what you do.
Mhm.
So yeah, you have to increase your prices, or you
Yeah.
gotta put a price on it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not cheap being a photographer.
No.
If it's a business, like you mentioned, like I'm constantly, my equipment, software, membership, education, mentorship, there's a lot that goes into it. So
On top of overheads.
yeah,
I mean, even if you go and even if you have a home office,
yeah.
you still have overhead. Especially like cameras now are like not cheap
Mm-hmm.
at all.
like a price.
I think somebody tried to
starter
give me
car.
like, hey, you should buy this one. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy that.
Like, I'm not a photographer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hire someone who can do a better job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm curious, what do you think are like some common misconceptions that people have about photographers? Or like, is there a big one that glares out at you that you're just like, no, this is not?
I feel like, so I've been doing this for a long time, and I charge what I feel that I'm worth.
And it's your
feel like-
time too.
Which
Yes.
is important.
Yes, there's a lot of time involved. It's not just, kind of give an analogy. Well, no, never mind. I won't go there. Forget it. Misconception, like photography is not an art. And in my opinion, it is an art. It's just a different medium of art.
Heck yeah.
So basically, yeah, that's
It's the art of light.
Yeah, and the thing for me is misconception. Sometimes when there's a special occasion, and this has happened, where my grandmother's going to photograph the event. And I'm like, oh, is she a professional photographer? No, she has a camera. And I said, okay, so I offered to photograph the event. But anyway, I just came across, I've heard a lot of it, experiences where people don't hire a professional photographer. They have a family of, a friend or a family that's going to take it. And I highly recommend hiring a professional, especially for the special occasions. If it's a wedding, maternity, newborn, any kind of milestones in your life or your children's life,
1000%.
I say hire a professional. You
worth
you
the
can
investment.
interview them. And that's one thing I always do with everybody that calls me that doesn't know me. I do an in-person consultation or a phone consultation now that we're, shelter in place or whatever. But I always do a consultation with them. So I do have steps and systems in my business that is huge, differently than what I didn't do prior to 2017. And so, I say hire that friend or family for in between milestone.
Right.
Yeah, but not major. Oh, I know people who's hired. For
No,
like
it's
a
well
wedding,
worth it.
and it's their aunt or uncle, and then they regret it so much. Like I
Yeah.
never one time have I heard it that they didn't.
Right, but they're like, darn, I'm really upset that I got
Invest-
these professional photos done.
Yeah, invest in a. Now I hear like videographer, so invest in a
Mhm.
videographer, invest in a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Both two different separate thing. Yeah,
Yes.
don't worry about the money. That's like you said, it's major milestone. You're gonna look back on that
Yeah.
for like years to come, and your children and great grandchildren. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I just photographed a family a couple weeks ago, and they hadn't had their family portraits. And as we were wrapping up the session, they said, "Oh, I hope this doesn't happen like with our wedding photos. That the photographer lost the photos." I was like, "Oh no,
Oh
that's
yeah,
never
that's
happened to me.
yeah.
Thank God." So yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
just delivery period too. And they're like, oh, it took him like 3 months to give us the photo. Like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah, that's even
That's
worse.
never gonna happen with a professional. Well, Melinda, do you have any like promotions coming up?
Right, or
Because
special
we're almost
events?
done here.
I do. In the month of July, I'm offering a free complimentary photo session for high school seniors.
Okay.
It'll be a mini session, like 30 minutes, and if the senior needs more time, that's that's always an option.
That's cool because I feel bad for them. A lot of them didn't get to walk, right?
Mm-hmm. And if seniors would like a full photo session, giving them complimentary makeup, hiring a professional makeup artist.
Oh, cool.
And if it's a guy, obviously he's not going to wear makeup. Well, maybe, I don't know.
Depends on how you feel.
But I will, he will receive a gift certificate to get his haircut and a gift certificate for my photography. They'll get a credit.
That's awesome. And where can we find you? Because we gotta be able to find you too.
mchunterphotography.com.
Nice.
My telephone number is 530-524-9949. And I'm also on Facebook.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us tonight.
Thank you
It's
for
been a
having me.
pleasure, my dear.
Yes, it's been wonderful.
And I hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday night.
We are Women of Vision.